There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Love. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Throwing. Love. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Good footwork at the 30. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 1. They'll run for the first time with a speedster, Jahmyr Gibbs. And he's got room. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 6. They'll run with Gibbs. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Gibbs again, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And, Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Love, they go play action now. That's complete to Dobbs. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
They'll send Reed in motion left. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's Aiden Hutchinson. He was determined to blow that play up, and he sure did.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Love looking to throw it. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
To throw now, here's Love. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Here's Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Jacobs going to try the middle. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Second down and 3, ball on the 7. Love now. He's got it. And the Packers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Tucker Kraft, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are an extra point away from evening this one up.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
McManus's point after is good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 10. Another run for Gibbs here. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now 3rd down and 7. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Following the interception, Love. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Seven, our score after 1. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Gibbs straight ahead, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Goff now to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Goff now looks to throw. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. 2nd down and 6 now. They'll send the tight end in motion. Off play action. Here's Goff. That is caught by Laporta. Still fighting for more. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play there for Detroit. 49 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Goff. And he fends him off. And this is going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal. This a 27-yard attempt here. Bates' kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
That stop made by Jack Campbell.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Play fake. Here's Love. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it second down. Operating from the gun. Love. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Reed. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. Kirby Joseph there to drop him.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Off the play fake, Love. And his throw is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Love. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 46. The kick by McManus is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling. Held it to it.
Gibbs gets popped and he loses the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Gibbs. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Play action. It's Goff. They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Goff. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Xavier McKinney. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Dancing away at the 35. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Bates' kick is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here's 3rd and 7. Throwing. Love. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Jack Campbell with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Now Goff. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Here's Goff. His pass caught at the 4. And the Lions are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it, for them to get downfield that quickly? And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
To the air again. Goff. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Packers with the football here late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Love from the gun. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Love looking to throw it. Completed out left to Dobbs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Love. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Love. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Love, they go play action now. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Here's Daniel Whelan now. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Williams a man in motion right. Here's Goff. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Goff now looking to throw. Escapes, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Well, this is caught by Williams. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here comes the Lions punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw now, here's Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on here to punt it away. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. Gets around him. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all Lebanon defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. To throw is Goff. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Gibbs will try and pick it up.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Goff now to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
In motion right, that's Williams. Here's Goff. Oh, he stays up. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Goff. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Quay Walker came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And a short gain here, down to the 22.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. Goff. Got his man. It's Williams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Bates' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They will run the draw with Jacobs. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Love. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Got Dobbs over the middle. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Completes it again to Dobbs. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Romeo Dobbs, 26 yards. And the Packers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the 2nd half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Now Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Now it's Goff. That is caught. And he is going to have a Lions first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Oh, short pass here taken in by Laporta. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is second and less than a yard. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Goff now looks to throw. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 37. 94 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On third down, here's Gibbs. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 9 yards that time.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Finds Gibbs on the check down. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300, that means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams hauling that one in from Jared Goff. And the Lions will add to their 4th quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team...
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the two-point try.
Well, they tried to get two and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Throwing, Love. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Once again, it's Jacobs. He'll get this down to the 38.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down at 7. Play fake. Here's Love. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Love looking to throw it. He finds his man. Complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screen play is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
2nd and 5. Love now. He finds his man. Complete. It's Reed. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now Love. It's his favorite target again. It's Dobbs. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Love. It's a Packers touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
And that to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has. Percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. In motion goes the tight end. Counter play. Here's Gibbs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. A shotgun snap for Goff. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket, because you mentioned the feast or famine part. He's played well in between being dumped on his back, but every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So here's Love and the Packers. Down by 5. 1:54 on the clock. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Love to Dobbs, and he hauls it in. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Love. Throw left side complete. That's Reed. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Love looking to throw it. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Here's Love. This is caught. Touchdown, Packers. Romeo Doubs, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
And touchdown and congratulations and zero relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part one is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see him scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for two.
I think we can figure out why they went for two there, right? Up one. You want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalposts, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback. Now that is the 2-minute drill at its very best. Get the completion, get a big chunk of yardage, and then get out of bounds to save those timeouts. You cannot do it any better than that.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. Goff. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Goff now to throw. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Lambeau faithful making as much noise as they can. It's 3rd down. Now Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Goff. He'll get this one to Patrick. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll come up now on second down. He'll look to throw. Going underneath, Gibbs has it. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Final minute, one timeout remaining. 1st and 10. On the give, here's Gibbs. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. He's hit 3 times already, and this for the win. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
This fielded right at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. One last shot now for Love. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.